Hello everyone, welcome to another glorious day at my home. Today's plan, we are going to plant some of my winter sowing jugs, like quite a lot of them. Alright, so all of the ones that you see sitting here, that's what's getting planted up. There's some other things like lettuces and stuff, but they're not like, they weren't done winter sowing, but I'm going to be planting those too. But we're just going to get going and start putting all this stuff in places. And the first thing I'm going to do is this chamomile. So it's Kelway Golden Chamomile. And I have several areas where I've got these fabric grow pots that are separated into like 8 sections. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. I'm actually going to be moving my veggie bed down to the bottom of my garden. I don't like it placed here, so we're going to be moving that and planting some tomatoes in it this weekend. But I'll be moving this bag back where it was because I just didn't know where I wanted to put this when I put it together. But I'm going to move that back, but it's pretty much empty. So there's holes I'm going to be putting some flowers and things like that in. Last year these didn't do so great. I think it was because of the soil that I used, but I think at this point it's broken down because it was like really woody. I'll never buy it again. It was cheap, very cheap at Lowe's. I think it was called Stay Green or something like that. I didn't like it, but as you can see, there are some things that I planted last year that are actually, they came back and are doing much better than they did at last year at all. And then I have planted a couple of things. I planted this last year, and look, it's coming back. It looks really good. But yeah, anything that you see in here besides these 2 things, those are edible chrysanthemums. And this right here is it's called Bill Archer. It's a variegated basil. So I'm going to try to fill up these pots with some new things. And what I will be doing this year that I think is really helping things take off and transplant really well is everything I put in a hole is going to get a sprinkle of this mycorrhizae inoculant first. So I kind of dig the little hole, and I put a little sprinkle of this in there, and then I plant whatever it is, and then I water it in with a balanced fertilizer, a balanced NPK fertilizer, and fish emulsion. And that has really been doing the trick for me this year. I don't think I've had really hardly anything not transplant well. Knock on wood. So we're gonna get to planting. So I'm gonna figure out what I want in each of these holes. So I know I want this chamomile, I think, right back here. And I've got a bucket of soil that if I need to like top these a little bit, I've got a pot here that is just empty, and I'm just gonna take the soil and put it in there because some of them are a little bit lower than others. But what else? Let's find what else I want to put into these containers. Okay, so the first jug I'm going to tend to is a lettuce one. So this is very pretty and got quite a few starts, Merlot lettuce. So where am I going to plant it? I have other started lettuce that I didn't winter sow. I just started indoors in pots, and I just planted it right there. That one is red velvet lettuce. And so I think I'm going to plant my Merlot lettuce around these. So these are eggplants. And I think I'm just going to dot the Merlot lettuce right here. And then I have some other lettuces and a basil plant here. I just harvested this morning, as you can see, this lettuce. But I like to have an array of lettuces. These are all just a bunch of weeds that need to be pulled. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna like make some little holes with my fingers here where I think I'm going to plant these starts. I don't really know how many I got until I get them out and separate them. Okay, and then this is basically what I'm doing for everything I plant today. Taking just a little sprinkle of mycorrhizae fungi and just putting it in the hole a little bit, and then I'll just kind of mix it around in each hole, and then we will put the starts there. Okay, so I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 starts, so I'm just going to put them in the holes and then water them in really well. Okay, so my Merlot lettuce is planted and watered in. All right, I've got a few things picked out here. I am going to put German thyme in this corner. I already told you I was going to put that chamomile there. I'm going to put Italian oregano in that corner, and I think that's going to be it for the pots for now. I've got some other basils and things in these pots, but they just need to get a little bit bigger. But for now, this is the winter sowing that I'm going to put in here. Okay, so I started to plant the Kelway Golden Chamomile here, and I did rip off just a little chunk because I wanted to dot it in a couple other places. So around my pool here, I figured I would do maybe a chunk right there. So I'm just like digging a little hole. I'm going to add some of the soil, or the potting soil or potting mix. I'll do a chunk there, maybe a chunk there. So I just have 3 little chunks across here. Okay, next I am dying to find a place for these right here. This is my Mongolian giant sunflowers. I got 3 of them, and they're getting a little bit eaten up by snails, but I think they'll be okay. And I'm gonna separate them and put them in, well, let's go figure out where I want to put them. I've got those, and then I've also got some of my this is goblin gaillardia. So I'm gonna find a spot in my garden for those too. So let's grab those 2 jugs. Okay, so I think I want to plant them where I can like look at them every day as they get giant. Instead of down in the hill, I'll plant them at the top of the hill. So I think I'm gonna do 1, 2 in one of these corners, and then the 3rd one there. So when I like walk through here to go down the steps, they'll just be like flanking me. Is that the right word, flanking? I don't know, but I've got some squash planted here, and so that's what I'm going to do with those. Okay, so the goblin gaillardia, I've got this little area between a butterfly bush that I trimmed back a whole bunch, which the top needs to be trimmed a little bit more. And then this is a white berried bush. I trimmed it back last year. Actually, I trimmed back everything. There appears to be a lot of flowers on these. So this is kind of spread. There's some trees that are popping up. I need to get all those picked up. But yeah, I think I'm just going to put the gaillardia right here in this little space. Alrighty, those 4 are planted. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, what can be next? Because I know I want to just dot things throughout, like especially flowers. What do we got in the way of flowers here? Okay, we got some Eskimo marigolds, so I want marigolds everywhere. And then we got some strawberry marigolds. So let's go just dot these all around where our tomatoes are. Okay, so I've got 4 little places. You can see the mycorrhizae powder in the holes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think I'm gonna do the Eskimo marigolds. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 really good starts here. So I'll put 4 of them here, and then 2 in a couple other places, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do with strawberry ones. Okay, so I think what I've decided with the strawberry marigolds is, so there's going to be my fire pit area, and then the first bed, so it's like in the middle, and the second bed down where I've got a row of tomatoes. I think I'm going to put, you see where there's a separation, well, you can't see here. There's like 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to put the marigolds right in those 3 areas here, like in between the wood and the tomato plants. And I'm not sure how many's in there, but I might just do 2 to each one, so that'll be 6. And whatever's left over, I think I'm going to pop a couple in the 3 beds that are down there, or possibly with some peppers. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's quite a big gap between these two. I'm thinking I might plant something here. And then I've still got this area right here that I'd kind of like to put something. So let me go see what we got. Okay, it doesn't really look like I have done anything. But I have. We're just going to keep plugging along here. I started at probably like 9:30 and it's about 3 o'clock now. But I planted a bunch of other things like basils and just flowers that I had started. Different things, peppers, extra peppers that weren't in jugs. So I've been planting, I just haven't done a lot of these. But let's get to it. Okay, so let me see. This one here, I want to go ahead and plant. This is my Yellow Wonder Strawberry. And I've got a couple of spots, so they're a little dirty. So I'm going to clean them off a little bit so that they can actually photosynthesize. If the leaves are all dirty, the light won't get to the leaves. But I think there's 3 starts in here. And I'm going to put them, I've got a few empty holes. Where do I have the empty holes? I need to spin these too. Okay, so I'm gonna put these, there's an empty one here at the bottom and an empty one over there at the bottom, and then I'm gonna spin them. So I think there's 3. Let's see, is there any other hole here? Maybe I'll put the 3rd one up here in this space. All right, so this one here is sweet marjoram. I'm trying to think if I would like, I think I'm going to separate this into 2 pieces. I think I'm going to have one in one of my garden beds over there, and then I'm going to have one in one of these spots here. So that, and then I think this tarragon, or wait, no, this is white black fat. I've got tarragon. Where is that? Here it is, tarragon. I've got a couple of starts of tarragon, which I think I'm going to do the same thing with. Okay, so I have the white bachelor's button. I don't know if I talked about it. Put it at the corner here. Just separated out all the starts I had and put them there. And I did end up putting the marjoram and the tarragon in the pots here, and then I took what was left and I put it down in a corner of a bed. I just broke it in half and put 1 half in here and a couple chunks of the tarragon here. So there's the tarragon and there's the marjoram. Hopefully they perk back up because the tarragon looks sad. All right, up next, what do I want to do? So this is Mad Dog Skullcap. That's Prairie Sun Rudbeckia. Okay, I maybe want to put that up in the front of my house, some of this Prairie Sun Rudbeckia. So I'm gonna water this and set this aside. So I have some delphinium. And I really would like to plant that somewhere down in the garden. So I'm gonna grab the delphinium and the Mad Dog Skullcap. And then I've also got, where is it? All right, so I've taken a clump of bee balm out of the jug, and I'm just gonna kind of separate this into like 6 or 7 little chunks and just put it right here in the corner. So I decided to place the delphinium, just separated it out and put it right in the front here. Now I'm gonna water it in. So I've got my mixture here. And I just very gently water them in. This is hard to do one-handed because I like to hold like the stem of it. So I'm gonna put the phone down and do that. All right, so I'm down here with the milkweed and I'm at the bottom of my garden here and I'm just trying to figure out where I could put it. I was kind of thinking I need to remove the old green fence from here. And I was thinking that I bring down a wheelbarrow full of garden soil mushroom compost and just create like a little right along the metal fencing here. I need to remove this. This is just a thorny bush. I plan on mulching like with this cardboard, laying this down and putting wood chip mulch. But I thought that maybe I could plant the milkweed along here because it's gonna grow up tall. I think that's what I'm gonna do because the pumpkins will pretty much stay low. They will probably climb over to here and they climb up the hill, which again, I need to remove the green fence here. Oh, there's so much to do. Okay, so, all right, so I think I'm gonna take the milkweed back up there until I can do this part and we'll try to just plant some other things. Okay, well, I'm trying to listen to Lauren's tomato awesome sauce. I'm also planting Wintersowing Jugs. I just said hello to everyone. It's just getting going, so I'm gonna shoot this clip real quick. But I've got some, it's called Carolina lupine. I believe this is a yellow lupine. A really good friend of mine sent me. And it gets really big. I think it's like yellow and really pretty, but I think I'm gonna put 4 starts here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and I forgot to say this is where my swing set is. So I have like a trellis type kind of deal that I could maybe tie it to, but I also put my dahlias. I put a dahlia here, I put a dahlia there, and then I put one on the other side. Okay, next up is some of my Snapdragons. So I've got 2 containers. The 2 back ones are lipstick gold, which is new to me. And then this big one are saved seeds of my own for black Snapdragons. So I am going to probably separate this big one into like 5 clumps. But these I'm probably gonna plant just as is in a square somewhere down in my garden. Okay, so I planted up the 2 lipstick gold. That one is there. And I had a couple of little starts that I put in one of those pots. I think it's that one. Just the tiniest little bit. I had them in my hand and I was just like, let me just shove them over here. And then I have the other one right here in between these 2 trellises. I just want my garden full of flowers and then like the squash and the tomatoes, like flowers everywhere, just beautiful things everywhere. But then I wanted to talk about the black Snapdragon because it's like so big and doing so well. I put a little chunk of it here because like I had said before, I'm trying to build up the soil by continuously putting wood chips down. As they break down, they create good soil because if you look, that's kind of what my ground is. It's just shale and it's hard and not nice to grow things in, so I really wanted to try to build this up and just make every little space nice to grow things in. So I'm just trying out to see if anything will grow just yet. So I've got a chunk there and I've got a chunk here in the corner, so I've just moved away the wood chips, and then I had some of the potting mix, so I put the potting mix down and then I put the starts in it. But what I wanted to show you was, because these are so tall, so for Snapdragons, so that they'll be, like I could separate these all out into seedlings. There's probably like, I don't know, 10, 12 little seedlings here. But what I want to do to make them bushier and not super tall, they'll bush out a little more if I pinch them. So I'm just pinching the tops off of all of these right before I plant them. And so it just makes them a little shorter. Now I could actually like take these and stick these in the ground and they would root. Maybe not this one so much, but like some of these longer ones, I've done it before. They're easy to propagate, but I'm just gonna leave that there. But I'm gonna, let me see if I can show you. So I'm just moving away the wood chips. You can see how they're starting to break down and create some nice soil here, but I'm trying to get all the way to the ground. I mean, I've piled wood chips up pretty high, and I plan on doing it more, but underneath of it is just like I've reached the rocks. There's rocks. It's rocks and shale because we had all this dirt brought in. But so I'm moving away a bunch of it, and then I'm taking what's left in here. I'm hoping this will work. I don't know if it'll work, but I don't think Snapdragons are too finicky. Let's do the rest. And then I'm just going to press that down in there and then push the wood chips back, and we will see if I get anything. So I'm going to water it too. I always water it in with some fertilizer and fish emulsion. Alright, well, I'm trying to figure out the last couple places, if any, where I want to plant some black snapdragons. I think I might just put those aside and put some in the front yard. I found my anise hyssop. I guess I brought it down here. I was going to plant it, and then I forgot about it. But gosh, it looks so good. And oh my, does it smell delicious. I barely touched, oh, it's like straight up yummy sweet licorice. I don't know how to explain it, but I am going to put it, honestly, I don't know how it grows, so this might be a bad idea. I don't know. Sometimes I just find out the hard way. I'm going to plant it right here, just little clumps all the way across, and then I might dot a chunk of it where else might I dot a chunk of it? Because I've got my ground cherries there, so I don't want to do that. Analysis paralysis. I don't know. Maybe I'll just save it. And we'll just plant some here, and then I'll see what happens. So I'm also breaking off certain chunks of things that I want to take to Lauren. So the anise hyssop, it's looking so good. I went ahead and broke off a chunk to take to her. This is some of the other peppers that I'm taking her. I put some double red carnival, like any of the stuff that I've been planting. If I think she might enjoy it, which is everything. I'm like, ooh, I'll take some of this. I just break off a chunk, fill a little pot with soil, and shove the plants in that. So that's a second, this is the second tray I'm taking to her. She only thinks she's getting 2 plants. I hope I don't overwhelm her, but I just can't not give her some of this stuff. Whether she uses it or not is up to her, but she can find a hole somewhere to shove these things, right? All right, onward with the rest of the stuff. So I really want to plant these. These are my yellow flag irises that my friend sent me. I believe this is the same good friend that sent me the yellow lupines. Sent me these, and I was so excited that they germinate. She sent me a ton of seeds. I should have done a couple of jugs, but I didn't. So I need to find a very special place to put these. So let's do that. And then there's, I don't know what this is. This is like a butterfly mix that's already flowering with these. Oh, I just saw that. These pretty blue flowers. Can you even? Oh, look past my dirty hands, but those are so pretty. So I think I'm just gonna rip this apart and put this in chunks everywhere. It looks like it's got some cosmos in it. Just all kinds of things. So yeah, I'm just gonna pull this apart in chunks, but let's find a place for the yellow flag irises. Clouding up, gonna rain. Oh, where? Not till like 8 or 9. Whoa, sneak peek. I don't don't know if you saw it, but it's pretty exciting. My baby's making me something. Aren't you, baby? Yeah. Yellow flag irises, where do I want you? I want to walk out and just see you and be excited. Oh. Like, I'm not sure what's going to be popping up. Would this be a good spot? It's kind of empty. I don't want my butterfly bushes here to take over on them, but it's pretty empty here. I could probably put them there, right? Let me look up how big they get. Okay, so I planted up my yellow flag irises, and I've decided I'm just going to separate out this mixture of flowers just underneath this right here, this trellis. I never know what to plant under here. I've got this space here, and so I want to plant it up with something. So I'm going to put this under here. I could do some lettuces, but I also need something to be like trellising up over to protect the lettuces, because this area will have like sun for like a really long time. We have no trees around this part, so I just don't think I want to put lettuces because I don't have anything trellising up. I've got some beans underneath of there that are popping up, but my Vit Mach has went to seed and is trying to. You can see where I like pushed it back. Sorry to hear Ben in the background working, but yeah, my Vit Mach is kind of taken over. It came back from last year. Ugh. But yeah, I think I'm going to put some pretty flowers here. Okay, so I had the pole coneflower. So they were pretty separated. I guess the seeds were quite large and I was able to like put them. So there were, I think, 7 seedlings. 4, 5, 6, 7, no, 8 seedlings. So I put 3 here. So I'm down at the, I don't even think I told you where I'm at. I'm down at the bottom beds here. So I put 3 right there. I popped 1. Let me show you. So I'm done for the day. It is, I've been walking around, going up and down the steps, trying to figure things out. I didn't get through all of the jugs, but I did make it through quite a few. But yeah, I think that's going to be the last of the jugs for today. I got a couple of things I got to do before I go and get all showered and cleaned up, because Ben and I are going out to eat. But I popped, what did I do? Where is it at? Oh yeah, I popped 1 of them right there in the corner. We'll see how these do up here. So here's the jugs I got left. Doesn't really look like I did a whole lot, does it? But I did 2 on each side of, like, this is where I walk down into the yard. So I did 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there, and we'll see how they do. So we'll pick this video up probably not tomorrow, but the next day, Saturday. And I will try to get the rest of these jugs planted.